right, let's get some focus. That's pretty focused.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yo, friends, what's going on? How's it going? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. Do hope you're doing well, mate. Really do hope that Samu Omorodion signing with Chelsea, £35 million, new centre forward, 20 years old, from Atletico Madrid, after Conor Gallagher's going there for 42 million euros. What's that, about 36.5 million pounds? Today, in this Chelsea news video, I'm going to read a Athletic article on Samu, what's going on there, and also we are going to hop over to the Telegraph. Matt Law wrote about Trevoh Chalobah, some other stuff there, strikers, even a little bit more. Look, Victor Osimhen hasn't gone away despite these rumoured and reported crazy demands from Napoli. The stories remain, which for me is pretty crazy considering Nico Jackson, good striker, injured, by the way. Like, what's going on with his injury? I thought he was like nearly ready, but maybe he's not. Anyway, Nico Jackson, maybe. You know, we could also talk about Nkunku. Even Cole Palmer played a false nine at some point. But Samu, could Osimhen join? Lots of strikers, mate. Anyway, we're going to talk about it today. Strap yourselves in. Thank you for joining me as always. I really do appreciate the love and sweet support from you, man, here on the channel. Please do consider dropping a like if you want to support that thing. And you, of course, are welcome to subscribe. Should you choose to subscribe, I recommend you hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Yeah, man. All right, we're going to jump in now. Let's start off with Samu Ornstein and Liam Toomey. This is published on The Athletic, but seconds ago. Minutes now. Chelsea have agreed £34.5 million, so less than 35, 40 million euros, deal with Atletico Madrid for striker Samu Omorodion. Should the deal progress? Well, we've got the here we go from Romano, so it seems like it's done. He'll sign a 7-year deal with an option of a further year, which of course will run until 2032. So Project 2030 has become Project 2032 very, very quickly. Of course, he's only 20 years old, let's remember, so he's young. The finer details still being worked on. Conor Gallagher, meanwhile, is set to travel to Spain to complete his 42 million euro move from Chelsea to Atletico Madrid. We've done that to death, so I don't need to comment on that too much longer. The Athletic reported last week that the Spanish side were in advanced talks with Chelsea about signing Gallagher for £36 million. And it's been agreed. He's obviously, to finish off on Gallagher, he's going to sign a 5-year deal. He's undergoing a medical. Of course, this was a part of a multiple complex situation with signings and, purchases and sales, of course. Julian Alvarez has resulted in softening their resistance after selling Omorodion. Of course, he's got 95 million euros, Alvarez, to Atletico Madrid, which is still baking my noodle, as the Oracle said in the first Matrix. Is it the first Matrix? Yeah, when he breaks the vase. Yeah, when she says, "Don't worry about the vase," he goes, "What vase?" Turns, smashes the vase, and he's like, "How did you know?" And she's like, "Well, what's really going to bake your noodle later is, would you have still smashed it if I didn't say anything?" If I was clever, I'd find a way to make this relevant to transfers, but I don't want to confuse myself, and I definitely don't want to confuse you, so let's move away from the Matrix. Of course, a little bit more on Gallagher here. We don't need to talk about that. We had a £27.4 million plus add-ons offer for Samu, rejected in June. And that's when loads of us were raising eyebrows, like, why are we going in for this guy? Who is this guy? He's played at Alaves. He scored 9 goals and got 1 assist, so 10 goal involvements. They finished 10th place. So Chelsea striker, apparently? Look, I'm gonna reserve opinion, because that's what big boy football fans do. And when we signed Nico Jackson, I was like, who the hell is this guy? I was. You know, I was like, what? Why? And I love Nico Jackson. I know he divides opinion, but I think largely the majority of Chelsea fans, for pretty much the same money, even slightly less than Samu, that we signed him for, but pretty much the same money, he's proven to be an excellent investment. And Nico Jackson will be more versatile than Samu. Samu is a number 9. He is a centre forward. He is a striker. He is going to play down the middle where Nico can go out wide as well. Point being, though, the point I'm trying to make is I wasn't too gassed on Nico, and now I'm gassed. I'm high on him. I think he's good. I think he's a good player. So let's give a chance to Samu. Yeah, let's do that. Chelsea have looked at a number of striker targets this summer, and any deal for Omorodion is separate. This is Ornstein slam dunking, and Twomey, Chelsea correspondent, slam dunking significant statement here. Any deal for Samu is separate from ongoing negotiations between Chelsea and Napoli, of course, for Romelu Lukaku to go there, and Victor Osimhen, which would be coming to Chelsea. So indeed, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, would be just too many strikers, and my poor guy Gu would have to go on loan to whether it's a Sevilla, wherever he was linked to in La Liga. You know, Gu ain't got time, no space for Gu then. But wow. I mean, I'd like to think at this point we've got Napoli over a barrel. We don't need Osimhen. We've got Samu. He's ruddy wicked, right? And they are on their knees for Lukaku. And look, Victor Osimhen isn't even training with Napoli. He's been bombed out. He's not been called up to the friendlies. He's not been training with Antonio Conte in pre-season. He's not learning the system. And Conte wants meticulous training, everyone in. So as far as Conte is concerned, that geezer ain't playing for them, Osimhen. And he just wants Lukaku. Lukaku knows how to play Conte ball. He loves Lukaku. Lukaku loves him. Lukaku ain't playing for Chelsea anymore. He's already agreed terms with Napoli to sign a deal. They want Lukaku. We can take or leave Osimhen. They are on their knees for Lukaku. So we, yeah. So it's a bit more on Samu, who's born to Nigerian parents. He's pledged his international allegiance to Spain, so ambitious there, because, you know, hard to get into that squad. He's been called up for both under-19 and under-21 national teams, which is good. And, of course, we begin our campaign to Manchester City in but days-ish. Yeah, I'm fine. You know what, man? Like, fine. It's another player. Hopefully he's good. Hopefully he'll prove to be great value. Look, Atletico didn't want to sell him. They never wanted to sell him. They rate him. Okay, and they were like, of course, Morata left. I know they signed Dovbyk, but I think they were like Dovbyk and Samu, that could be our strikers, you know, and he will get, and Simeone liked Samu and Omorodion, and it was all, you know, he wasn't for sale. Chelsea came sniffing, they were like, they just waved us away, they're like, no thank you. But Simeone loved Gallagher, they found out they could sign Alvarez, and they thought, wow, you know, we could have Alvarez playing in front of Conor Gallagher in this, like, you know, really exciting Atletico Madrid rebuild. You know, I know Real Madrid is still sick, but in a world where Barcelona are like kind of poor now, you know, just go for the throat, the jugular in La Liga. Let's get Gallagher, let's get Alvarez. That's exciting. And yeah, okay, right, let's, you know, Chelsea want 52 million or 50 million for Conor Gallagher. You're having a laugh, mate. All right, we'll lower the price slightly for Samu. We don't need him anymore. We can get Alvarez. You know, it's good. Matt Law writes this about Trevoh Chalobah on the Telegraph. Chelsea defender Chalobah and Wolfsburg Maxence Lacroix are of interest to Crystal Palace, of course, as they're weighing up options to replace the potential departure of Mark Gu. Okay, sorry, not Gu. So many marks. Guehi is wanted by Newcastle United, which has forced Palace to start giving consideration on how they would replace him. Chalobah, who's left out of Chelsea's pre-season tour of the United States, is one option being given serious consideration. Yeah, that'd be a good move, I think, for Chalobah. I know he wants, you know, European football, but Newcastle are trending in the right direction, right? And of course, Like, that would make 3 of the 4, Livramento, Hall, Chalobah, Cobham, mate. Newcastle absolutely capitalising on the Cobham graduate train. And he knows those guys, right? Newcastle's a massive club, by the way. I know they're not, like, storied loads of, like, trophy pedigree or European pedigree, but they've got amazing fan base, good stadium, and they've got the investment. And he's still young, Chalobah. He can be, like, a leading person in the transformation of Newcastle. Should he want to be, bro? Yes, he's an option for them, of course, along with Lacroix, who's previously worked with so he's worked with Oliver Glasner. And again, yes, I just realised I'm talking about him kind of Palace. I've just been pinging. Sorry, guys. I'm so tired today. I've just been pinging up Newcastle United as a destination for Chalobah, but that's where Mark Gurhey is going. Crystal Palace for Chalobah. Not as sexy. Yeah, apologies, guys. Funny, though. Yeah, Chelsea apparently valued Chalobah at 25 million quid. My position remains the same. That is you're getting a lot of player. You're getting a player for 25 million quid. You're getting a young, experienced player. He's tall, he's strong. He can play right back, centre back, central defensive midfield. So, of course, he's been left in limbo, Chalobah, since being left out of Chelsea's US tour and has been training with the club's development and under-21 side. The 25-year-old is known to be liked by a number of clubs, but is yet to receive any firm offers. Chelsea have now returned to the UK, of course, but the expectation is that Chalobah would continue to train away from the first team, which is very sad, if you ask me. And I think that was the plan of Conor Gallagher as well. Of course, he's now gone to Atletico Madrid. Palace are among a host of Premier League clubs who are expected to enter the market for the defender before the transfer window shuts, along with Fulham, Aston Villa, and potentially Tottenham Hotspur. Well, those last 2 will be the preferred destinations. Now, of course, like Gallagher is a Chelsea boy, academy boy, Chelsea fan. Would he want to go to Tottenham? Maybe. The career comes first often, doesn't it? Aston Villa, I think, is a really interesting one. Of course, they're in the Champions League. Of course, they've got Unai Emery. They're very, very exciting. They've got good players. I understand why he said no to Nottingham Forest that time when they were like going to be in a relegation scrap. But, saying no to Aston Villa. Plus, you want to talk about more Cobham graduates in the back line? Ian Martson. He's got mates everywhere. All over the gaff, So, that's good. They're good options. So, Chalobah turned down a move to Nottingham Forest, like I just said. And he's still got 4 years left on his contract. And we gave him an extension less than 2 years ago. Which is, I understand why he's miffed. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. Watch this space. The future of Chelsea striker, of course, Romelu Lukaku, the aforementioned. He remains in limbo. Napoli yet to make an offer for the Belgium, despite him agreeing a 3-year contract. And he wants to link up back with Antonio Conte. Of course, a deal is yet to be agreed. They haven't even made an offer. I think they're sounding out informally first to see if this is realistic. Chelsea have informed Napoli that they want the full £37.8 million clause in Lukaku's contract met and are currently not interested in loan. I think, right, do you know what I think? I don't think that's true. I think we've said that, but what I don't think is true is that we demand that 38 million quid, because I think if he was worth 25 million quid and there was a lesser valuation for Osimhen, we would do that. I think because they've just come back at us with silly money for Osimhen still, despite the market not existing for him, despite him not playing. It's like when Diego Costa, somehow we got an amazing deal for Diego Costa when he returned to Atletico Madrid, despite him saying I'll only go to Atletico Madrid, and despite Chelsea and Conte saying you're never going to play for us again. So people knew he wasn't going to play for Chelsea. People knew he'd only go to one club. I thought Atletico were just going to pay us 20 million and we'd have to bow and thank them. But we still got like 58 million quid or something crazy for Costa, considering the circumstance. But yeah, we don't have Marina Granovskaya anymore. I don't know how we're going to get this deal over the line. But clearly both Chelsea and Napoli respectively are like saying they want maximum money for their players. I wonder if a deal just will happen. Lukaku turned down a move to Saudi Arabia last summer, but there's been not any interest from the Saudi Pro League this year yet. Interesting. It's a game of poker between Chelsea and Napoli over Lukaku, and of course it involves Victor Osimhen, Chelsea would be prepared to take him on loan. I wonder if Chelsea are just sitting there in the ballroom, like I said earlier in the video. Now we've got Samu. Let's just see it. We'll offer them a loan, mate. We've got Lukaku, hold all the cards. They want him. They're planning for him. Let's just got De Laurentiis over a barrel. Let's just wait and see what he says. Do you know what I mean? Despite the fact Chelsea is expected to sign Samu from Atletico, the club would take Osimhen on loan as well if a deal could be struck. Yeah, I mean, we're going to play loads of games, right? So it does seem silly, but... And of course, Alfie Gilchrist has gone to Sheffield United on loan as well, and that's been made official by Chelsea. It's been announced by the Blades. Alfie Gilchrist to Sheffield United on loan. I must say, I like it, because they'll be expected to go back up or challenge for promotion. I would have been alright with him going to a middle championship club. Twomey on the Athletic podcast, Strav Cobham, was saying... They're like, the championship still ranks like the 6th or 7th best league in the world, like on par with like, I guess like a Liga NOS, like a Portuguese league or something. Very, very strong, the championship. And of course it's English football and you get a lot of physical play. Great proving ground. And, you know, Sheffield United, the higher echelon of the championship. That is a good loan for me. Anyway, what do you think, guys? Sorry about losing my mind talking about Trevoh Chalobah going to Newcastle for a while. But apart from that, if you did enjoy the video, drop a like to let me know. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. And all that jazz, man. So keep it locked to Football Therapy. I do hope to see you guys back here very, very soon. I'll try and upload as soon as some news pops. Right. See you soon. Peace.